Hello everyone, welcome back. So many of my viewers have asked me over and over throughout the years if I could do more one brand makeup tutorials. And I have done a couple of them in the past, but I've decided that in the month of March, once a week, I am going to do a full face makeup tutorial using just one brand. And I think I'm gonna do 2 drugstore brands and 2 high-end brands. And I'm starting off with drugstore. So this look right here is a full face of my favorite drugstore brand, Milani. In my opinion, Milani just has so many great products. Their blushes are amazing. Their concealer that I'm gonna use in this video is amazing. The star of this look though is their new all-inclusive eye, cheek, and face palette. This comes in 2 versions, light medium and medium dark. I purchased the light to medium, and I'm sure a lot of you are looking at this thinking that it sort of resembles the Charlotte Tilbury all-in-one face palettes, and it does. It's smaller, but the setup is very, very similar, and obviously it doesn't have as luxurious of packaging as Charlotte Tilbury's face palettes do. But that doesn't mean that what's inside it isn't really great. So if you would like to see how I achieved this look using a full face of Milani Cosmetics and hear my thoughts on this all-in-one face palette, then please keep on watching. Okay, today I'm going to start with my eyes, and I'm going to begin by using the Milani Eyeshadow Primer. I've talked about this in videos many times over the years. It is, I was gonna say one of my favorite drugstore primers, but it's actually my favorite drugstore eyeshadow primer. Okay, so I've got my face and eye palette we're going to be using. And when I was at Walmart purchasing this, I noticed this brush set from Real Techniques. I will put a photo of it somewhere on the screen. It just looked like a really, well, nice brush set that has all of the different styles of brushes or shapes of brushes that I like. So this brush set, as well as everything I'll be using on my face today, will be linked in the description box below. Now, unfortunately, these brushes don't have names or numbers on them, so I'm just going to have to show you a close-up of what the brush looks like. There's color on the brush already because I did do a trial run of this look yesterday. And I'm starting with this bottom brown shade. It's got a little bit of warmth to it. As you can probably see, it has sort of an orangey tone. So unfortunately, if warm tones don't look good on you or you just don't like them, this face palette is probably not going to be the one for you. So I'm putting this all over my lid and a little bit above where my crease would be if I had a defined crease, but I don't because my eyes are hooded. So I'm going just a little bit above the crease. And don't worry if it's messy, we're going to blend it out. So now I'm going to do that on the other side. I have to say that the pigmentation of the shadows in this palette are good, but not great. At least these 2 matte shades. It does take a bit of back and forth of going in and applying it to the lid to get a really good color payoff. Now that said, shadows that start off sheer but are buildable aren't always a bad thing, especially for beginners, because it's a lot easier to add product than to try and blend it away. And now I'm going to take the fluffy blender brush that comes in the set, and I'm going to go into that top shadow and blend out the edges. And I'm going to look up and down into my mirror so I can see the entirety of my lid space. And because I'm doing the eyes first, I can really blend out over here and not worry about it messing up my concealer or foundation. Same thing on the other side. Okay, and now I'm going to go in with my finger into the center shimmer shadow, and I'm going to pat that on my lid. This color is gorgeous. As I said, I did this look yesterday as a trial run, and I absolutely was so impressed with this shadow yesterday, and I'm impressed with it again today. Actually, yesterday I used a damp brush, but now I'm finding that you don't even need to use a damp brush. This goes on really intensely with just a finger. Wow, this is so pretty. I'm gonna go back in with that first color we used and darken up just the outer corners a little bit. And now you can use a makeup wipe or a Q-tip and some makeup remover and clean up any fallout. And then I like to angle my eyeshadow out towards my temple. And the reason why I angle my shadow out to my temple versus out to my ear is because when I smile, my eyes turn down, and I don't want the eyeshadow getting stuck in this fold right here. People that don't have hooded or downturned eyes will never understand how when your face is just at rest, your eyeshadow can be fine. As soon as you smile and your eyes crinkle up, your shadow ends up down here, and then it's more prone to smudging. So that's why I go up versus out. I really love these colors. It reminds me of a sunset. Now for my eyeliner, I'm using this new, well, it says that it's new, Stay Put eyeliner in the shade 02 Semi-Sweet or Semi-Sweet, however you want to say it. And this is a brown. And I'm going to follow along with the angle I've made here with the makeup wipe. And so what I just did was I made a fine line across my upper lashes, and then I'm bringing in the line so that I have a slight wing. And then I'm using the smudger on the end to soften the line. And then I like to go back with my wipe and make the line really fine and really crisp. And again, I angled my wings up versus out so that when I smile, they're still up here, not down here. Now I am going to curl my lashes and apply some mascara. I do not have a Milani mascara, and I'm going to be applying some false lashes on the outer corners anyway. So I'm just going to use this Revlon mascara that I have sitting here, and we will come back and work on the brows and the face. I forgot to mention that I did also tight line with this brown pencil, and so this is the look with just mascara. And as I mentioned, I'm going to put on some corner lashes. I will be using these Kiss number 11s. And what I do with these is I pretty much cut them in half, and then I apply the inner portion to the outer corner of my eye to give a little lift. And if you struggle with applying false lashes, you definitely are going to want to check out the video I did recently, the video I put up recently with all of my do's and don'ts of applying false lashes. If you follow those do's and don'ts, I promise you that in no time you will be a pro at applying false lashes, even if it's just the corners. Look at the difference just adding that corner lash made. Okay, so the eyes are mostly done. I am still going to be applying a little shadow to the bottom lash line and then also adding a touch of mascara to my lower lashes. But now we're going to work on the face. I'm starting by applying this dewy primer. Applying that all over my face. And for my foundation, I'm using the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 Foundation and Concealer. And I'm using the shade 5A Natural Beige, which you will see momentarily is too dark for me because I'm trying out different self-tanners for an upcoming self-tanner video. And the one I used today didn't make me quite as dark as I thought it would. So I'm likely going to have to blend this down my neck and chest. Now I've raved about the Conceal and Perfect concealer a lot on my channel, but I'd honestly forgotten how good this foundation actually is as well. I know I had it before. I've owned it in the past, is what I'm trying to say. So here we go. It's a little dark, but the coverage on this is amazing. And The finish is beautiful. It's matte, which is great for my oily skin, but it's not a flat matte, as you can see, or at least hopefully you can see. I know it seemed like I was applying a lot, but I'm really spreading it all over my face. And obviously down my neck and over my ears. And then just very lightly on my forehead. Never like to have too much foundation on the forehead. I think that's where a lot of people use too much and it can look cakey and it can settle into fine lines. So you should really try to use as little foundation as possible on your forehead. And now it's time for concealer. And I like to put that in the inner corner by my nose and then in this dark area right here. And then a little bit right here for a lifting effect. Now you can use your fingers for this or you can use a sponge. I like to use both. I find the warmth from my fingers really pushes the concealer into my skin and makes it look more natural. Now moving on to brows, I picked up this new Weekend Brow from Milani. It is supposed to be a microblading effect pen, much like the one from NYX that I've shown recently. And then Anastasia Beverly Hills has a brow pen. It seems every brand is coming out with a brow pen. I really, really like the one from NYX. I was a little disappointed that, as far as I could see on Ulta's website, it only comes in 3 shades, and the lightest is soft brown. You know what? I want to check the Milani website and see if it comes in more shades on the Milani website. Nope, it only comes in 3 shades on the website as well. Soft brown, it says suitable for light hair, medium brown, suitable for medium hair, and espresso, suitable for dark hair. So we'll see. The NYX comes in, I think, 5 or 6 different shades. Oh my God, you guys. Oh my God. I was not recording for the brow portion. My apologies. Once in a while this happens. I'm so sorry. This is the Milani Weekend Brow in the soft brown. I'm just gonna have to demonstrate it for you again in another video. It went on really nicely. The color is great. It's very similar to the NYX brow pen. I'm so mad at myself. And then I wasn't recording my whole little spiel about this. To contour my face, I've already done this area and this area and this area and this area. I use this Milani Cream to Powder foundation in a shade that is about 3 to 4 shades darker than my natural skin tone. Unfortunately, the shade name is not on this product, but if I can figure out what shade this is, I will have it listed in the description box. So, I can't re-demonstrate the brows without messing up my foundation and eyeshadow, but I can re-demonstrate the contour. I just put it here, and here, and here, and here, a little bit here, and now I'm gonna run a little bit down the sides of my nose. I had to check and make sure I had the microphone on too. What happens, or how that happens, how I don't record certain parts once in a while, is I try to save the battery life by turning it off if I have to step away for a few minutes because I forgot something, or if I need a glass of water or something and I come back. I usually have no problem remembering to press record again and turning back on the microphone, but I guess this time I didn't. What I have not done yet for my brows is carve them out. And I'm going to carve them out using a little concealer and popping that right underneath my brow. And I'm just using the same concealer I used under my eyes. And this will also give a little bit of lightness to the brow area, acting as a brow highlight. And now I'm going back to the face palette and I'm using the highlight shade and applying that right underneath the arch of my brow. And then I'm going to go in with the bronzer shade and an angled brush and just set my contour with this. Milani does such a good job with their bronzers, I think. And now let's finish up underneath the eyes. I'm going to take this angled brush from the Real Techniques set, go into that bottom eyeshadow, and run this along my lower lash lines. This palette is fantastic for blue or green eyes. And then I'm going to pop a little bit of the highlight shade in my tear duct area. And now for blush, I'm going to use a combination of the matte and shimmer. I'm just going to dip my brush into both, tap off the excess, and I'm applying it to the upper portion of my cheekbones, just sort of patting it in to give my face a more lifted appearance. And I'm going a little heavy because I love blush. And then for a little extra glow, I'm going to use this brush that comes in the Real Techniques set. Go into that highlight shade and just add a little bit more glow right through here. I will say that this highlighter emphasizes my texture a little bit, but not too bad. Then finally, before we finish off using this face palette, I'm going to take a flat synthetic brush in the highlight shade and I'm going to pop a little bit of this onto the inner third of my eye. I did already put a little bit, as you saw, in the inner corners, but now I'm just adding a little bit more to the inner third of the eye. Just so it kind of goes from light to medium to dark. And I would give this palette an 8 out of 10. I just wish that this shade was a little bit less red and a little bit more pigmented. And I do wish that the bronzer was a little bit less golden, just a tad more neutral. But the matte blush and the shimmer blush, gorgeous. This middle shade right here, gorgeous. Highlighter, beautiful. This top shade right here, perfect for blending out the crease. I love the packaging on this. It's so travel friendly. I definitely would recommend this. So I'm just going to finish off this look with my lips, and for that I am using this Milani Ludicrous Matte Lip Crayon in the shade Can't Even. So I'm just wiping off any excess foundation from my lips. And I like this type of matte lip crayon because it can be used as a lip liner and a lipstick. You don't need a separate lip pencil. And I'm going to warm up the lips a little bit to match the eyes by using this Keep It Full gloss in Tropical Shine. As you can see, it's sort of orangey. Well, I almost completely forgot about powder. I don't actually own a Milani powder. So I just lightly set my T-zone with this number 7 powder. It is the Lift and Illuminate Triple Action Finishing Powder. I use the shade Light. This powder is a pretty good dupe for my favorite Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Finish Airbrush powder. So I already went over how much I really like this palette, and I'm just gonna reiterate how much I love the concealer. This foundation is fantastic as well. This supercharged dewy primer is so good. And I really like this lip product. Well, I like this combo of the lipstick and the gloss. And then the brow pen, the microblading pen, the part of the video that I didn't actually record, I do like this. I think if you have tried the NYX microblading pen in both the taupe and the blonde, and perhaps both of those were too red or one was too light, I think the soft brown is a pretty good neutral. I do feel like my brow color looks pretty neutral, so I'm loving this as well. Oh, the Real Techniques brush set. That definitely gets 2 thumbs up. So as always, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions at all, please leave them for me in the comments. And if you're not already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. I do try to upload new videos at least twice per week. You can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok under the same username, Risa Does Makeup. Thank you all so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in my next video.